Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another one of my monologues. In this video I want to talk more about truth versus reality and the kind of world we're living in right now. It's crazy, isn't it? With all the AI generated stuff. You don't know what's fake, what's real, who to believe, who to trust. And it's interesting, isn't it? So I thought I'd kind of talk a little bit more about that in this one. And so I think, you know, we live in this age now where even reality feels slippery. Our grandparents grew up in a world, and people before them grew up in a world with the evening news, the news, reading the newspaper, and kind of gossiping over the fence was our main sources of information. It wasn't always perfect. Nothing ever is, you know. But there's always a sense. But with that, there's always a sense of, you know, of trust and what was real today. However, these days we're just bombarded, aren't we, with endless streams of content, much of it filtered, fabricated, manipulated, censored, to the point where the truth is, you know, impossible to separate from fiction, really. I mean, take social media, for instance. Every day we scroll through polished images, heavily edited videos of people's lives that really show the full picture. I mean, who knows what to believe? It creates a distorted reality, where we're not sure what actually is real and what's not. You know, I don't know what's worse about it is that it chips away at our ability to recognize authenticity in the world, and we even begin to doubt what we see, what we hear, and even doubt our own worth. And then there's the misinformation, obviously, and artificial intelligence, which compounds all that. I mean, deep fake now can even create videos of people saying things they never said. Fake news sites are designed to look legitimate, or spreading false narratives. Even some of the AI images are getting so good now, they can fool the average person into thinking they're real, and some people do. It's absolutely crazy. For the trained eye, of course, you can see it straight away. But, you know, if we can't rely on our own eyes and ears anymore, you know, even the foundation of trust between individual communities and nations starts to crumble. As I think we're all beginning to see now, people are starting to see through it, see what it is, and the dangers it can give, really. It's not just confusion, you know, it's manipulation, where people just don't know what's real anymore. Politicians, bad actors, corporations sow division, a false sense of hope, or spread fear. And it kind of weakens our ability to make informed choices, and erodes the very idea of shared reality. If we can't tell what's real, we risk losing touch with our very own compass, our values, our connections, and our sense of purpose. It can all feel a bit shaky, really. there's no surprising loneliness and anxiety is on the up. And certainly when the ground beneath us feels so, feels so shaky. So how do we kind of, how do we respond? How do I respond to it? And I think the part of the answer is slowing down instead of consuming everything at lightning speed. Just slow it down, take a breath, and just to question it. Where's the evidence? Developing a healthy skepticism doesn't mean rejecting everything, just rather approaching it from curiosity and discernment. Equally important things, grounding ourselves in the real, with real lived experiences, face-to-face conversations, community gatherings, and time in nature, just being outside in what's actually real, instead of actually looking at our screens all day long, which I'm guilty of. I mean, when we invest our time in relationships and environments that feed us, the noise of false realities just fade away. It becomes easier to resist. Rebuilding connections with people takes time, it takes effort. But it also starts with choosing what we give to our attention to and how it can anchor our lives. It's certainly an interesting topic of conversation, isn't it? Truth versus reality. In the world we live in today, surrounded by the digital age. I mean, take dating for instance. Look how that's gone. It's really interesting. Years ago, and this is going back a very long time, I was sat on a bus going into work, and I was kind of sat by the window, and there were two people, male and a female, in front of me, and they were both on their phones, and I could see that they were swiping swiping right as they do. And it was just two single people sat next to each other on a bus, on a dating app. And yet all they needed to do was actually put the phones down and actually talk to each other, and, like we used to do back in the day, before this stuff. It's nuts, isn't it? I mean, I can share countless of stories, really, where there's been groups of families sat in a room together, all together, with their snouts in their phones, not communicating, no connection. It's a sad reality, isn't it, of today's world that we live in. And I think that was one of the things that was noticeable last night when I went to the bike night, that there was not one phone in sight between all the guys. I mean, some of them were taking pictures of the bikes and stuff, and that was great, but they were actually communicating, and it's lovely to see that. But that's just one small aspect, really, isn't it? I dare say there's going to be exceptions to the rule, where communities still exist, where people, shun technology and still, retain that connection with people, and that's absolutely wonderful. But I think it is slipping away and become further, those things are becoming connections are becoming less and less as we move forward. And I think sometimes we just need a bit of a reality check, and to get our heads out of the phones and stop watching this YouTube channel, or maybe watch it in the garden with a coffee. But it's also nice to build these communities online, you know, with real people such as myself. Reach out to you, people out there that may feel lonely or isolated. Feel free to reach out to me. It's always nice to, and I'll always try and reply to everybody. I think I'm going to grab myself another coffee and enjoy the sun, because it's absolutely lovely out here. So I hope you enjoyed that little talk on truth versus reality. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, because it really helps the channel grow, and I appreciate all your comments. Certainly if you're new to the channel, it really helps the channel push to other people, hopefully anyway. If YouTube doesn't censor this video. But yeah, it's a thought-provoking one, isn't it? But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. As ever, I'll catch you later. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.